Hello everyone, welcome to AKSIAS main Shikshna free initiative. This is Santosh Koka. Before starting our today's discussion, we will see some information here. APPSC Group 1 English medium classes have been started here for offline and live and online. Our services including here digital classrooms and also time-bound completion of syllabus, state level test series, and also we have updated study material, monthly current affairs magazine. For information, you can call these numbers 844-844-9709 and 951-5487-979. Okay, so let's check today's question related to our subject modern history. Discuss the impact of World War II on the Indian independence movement. How did the Quit India movement of 1942 relate to the broader global context? Right, very important question. 3 steps before writing answer. Here we need to spend at least 1 minute to identify different information here. So question reading is first important step here. So what is the important topic here? India independence movement, and also one other movement, Quit India movement, also very important. How many parts are there? 2 parts are there. First important thing is we need to focus on discussing the impact of World War II on Indian independence movement. And second one is how did the Quit India movement of 1942 relate to the broader global context, right? So next, coming to our question tags here, discuss is very important question tags. Here we need to focus on positives and also negatives, right? We need to focus on both aspects here. Coming to the second question tag here, how means normal question tag, right? No need to worry regarding this. We need to give some information regarding regarding the demand of the question, right? So next, how many keywords are there? Important keywords. First important thing is impact, very important. Impact of World War II on Indian independence movement. First important thing is impact. Second is how did the Quit India movement relate to the broader global context? Broader global context, we need to explain the Quit India movement, right? So those are the important keywords here. So we need to focus on these important keywords. Next, coming to brainstorming, here we need to spend 1 minute of time to recall important aspects or important related facts or examples here. So I have just added some important keywords here. We need to include these type of history type of questions. We need to include compulsory the time periods, right, etc. Next, coming to Indian National Congress, also we need to present in our answer. Next, Bengal famine 1943 is very important regarding the particular topic, and also Cripps mission 1942. Indian National Army INA is also very important to add here. Gandhi slogan of do or die is very much important here to add here. Atlantic Charter 1947 regarding our global context or World War II related issues, we need to include this particular charter also, right? All these important keywords need to be in our answer, right? Those important keywords are related to our topic as particular. This section is very important, right? Next, coming to our introduction part here, we need to add some brief background about our World War II and its onset, right? How it was started and what is the important background, right? We need to add here. So for example, World War II, we can here include a particular time period, right? 1939 to 49. It was a global conflict, right? That had profound implications not only for the world but also for especially India, right? So very important, which was under British colonial rule only, right? So later it was culminating the Quit India movement, especially this period saw a significant escalation in national activists, right? So very important. Quit India movement also here we need to include. Growing discontent in India during this particular period is very important. That is what we need to add our Quit India movement 1942. Culminating the Quit India movement. So the British decision to involve India in the war without consulting Indian leaders increased the existing discontent here, right? Or intensified demand for independence. That is the main reason. We need to add these type of reasons or facts here. Next, coming to our body part, here we need to focus on applying our discuss keyword here, positive factors or negative factors, or we can include combined, right? Impact of, I just combined here both impact positives and negatives here. Impact of World War II on the Indian independence movement is first important keyword we need to address according to the demand of the question here. First thing is British decision to involve India in the war. That is the important factor here. The British government unilaterally declared India's participation here, right? So in especially September 1939, very important. These type of little facts or information time periods, right? Without consulting Indian leaders. This action led to widespread discontent, resentment here. The Indian National Congress need to add here. INC we can add already here. Include the important keywords, right? Indian National Congress demanded the immediate transfer of power in return for support in the war effort, but British refused to it, right? That is the important case or reasons we need to mention here. So among all, this refusal deepened the divide between British government and the Indian nationalists especially, right? So this is the particular reason, but we need not include all these details. We need to concise the information and put in here, right? Economic strains and their effects is also very much important here. So for example, we can take Bengal famine here. Some effects, economic effects, right? The war caused severe economic strains in India. The demand for resources and manpower led to inflation at that time, and also we have some food shortages, widespread poverty, etc. Right? The Bengal famine of 1943, whatever we included in the keyword section, so we need to compulsorily include in this particular segment, right? Which resulted in the deaths of around 2 to 3 million people, was increased by British policies during the war. This economic hardship further fueled anti-colonial sentiments, etc. Right? So next, intensification of the demand for independence is very much important here. The war created an environment where demand for complete independence became more pronounced, right? So here the failure of Cripps mission, we need to add our Cripps mission 1942, which offered only limited self-government, convinced many Indians that the British had no intention of granting real freedom, right? Very much important here. Next, role of Indian soldiers in the war is also very important. In between, we can add here the example of our Mahatma Gandhi's slogan. What is that? Do or die. And the particular third important intensification of the demand for independence, right? So next, fourth one, role of Indian soldiers in the war also very important. For example, over 2.5 million Indian soldiers participated in the World War II, fighting in various across various regions across Europe, for example, Europe or Asia, right? Africa, right? Very much important. These points are needed to add here. Next, coming to our Indian National Army, INA, led by our Subhash Chandra Bose, was formed during this period only, reflecting the growing militancy in the independence movement, right? We need to add these type of issues here, but we need to not only include these type of points, but need to add some facts or examples or time periods as a part of justification, right? Next, coming to our second part of the question, what is that? How did the Quit India movement of 1942 relate to the broader global context, right? Here, Quit India movement of 1942 in the global context, circumstances leading to the Quit India movement is very important. Primary, the reasons, right? So the failure of the Cripps mission and the decrease in conditions in India led the INC to launch this particular Quit India movement in August 1942, right? Very much important, these facts. The movement called for an immediate end to British rule, and Gandhi's slogan of do or die galvanized the masses also, right? Very important. Next, despite widespread repression, the movement saw massive participation from all sections of society, especially in the related to Quit India movement, right? Making it one of the most intense phases of our independence struggle, right? Quit India movement is very, very much important here. Next, global struggle for self-determination also very important here. For example, Quit India movement was part of a broader global context where colonized nations were beginning to assert their right to self-determination. Very, very important, right? Here, the principles enshrined in the Atlantic, whatever we have, Atlantic Charter, right? Charter 1941, which promised self-determination to all peoples resonated with Indian nationalists and added a moral dimension to their struggle, right? So Atlantic Charter, although primarily focused on European Union nations, but was interpreted by Indian leaders as a commitment to end colonial rule globally, right? Atlantic Charter is not only included European nations, but was interpreted by Indian leaders as a commitment to end colonial rule globally. That is very important, much important factor. We need to add this particular important keyword here. Next, global pressure on colonial powers also very important here. The war weakened European colonial powers and the global pressure to decolonization grew stronger here. The Quit India movement can be seen as a part of this large process here, right? So colonial powers especially, for example, we can say United States and Soviet Union, both of whom were emerging as superpowers, were vocal about the need to end colonialism, adding pressure on British or Britain to reconsider its position on India. That is the main global pressure here. Next, impact of the Atlantic Charter also very important, right? The Atlantic Charter, signed by the Allies importantly in 1941, advocated for the right of all people to choose their government especially, right? So this highlighted the Indian leaders to demand the same rights whatever we have in the global, aligning the Quit India movement with the global discourse on freedom especially and self-governance, right? Indian particular leaders demand and also world oriented particular significance also similar in this particular Atlantic Charter process, right? For example, we can say here important fact, although Churchill later clarified that the charter did not apply to British colonies only, it nevertheless inspired the Indian leaders and strengthened their resolve to fight for independence, right? That is the fact here. This is not only related to European countries or British colonies, but it is including or inspired Indian leaders also, right? So that is the main second part here. Coming to our conclusion here, we can add some implications or limitations of our Quit India movement, or we can say simply by linking their cause to the broader global context. Here they have linked the Quit India movement of 1942 regarding our broader global context. Indian leaders were able to push the colonial government towards considering the inevitability of India's independence. That is the major important point here. And for example, already we have seen in the Atlantic Charter, right? Not only European Union or European nations, Indian leaders' significance is very important there, right? So this is the perfect structure to this particular question. Here we need to focus on adding not only points, we need to add important examples as a justification, right? Or evidences, right? We need to provide. Next, coming to today's answer written by Niranjan, World War II presented opportunity for reinforce the independence movement during the period 1939 to 1940. Simply started with a particular World War II's time period mentioned here, and also some significance related to our independence, right? Impact of World War II on independence movement, collaboration of socialists and moderates for freedom struggle, very important here, Jayaprakash Narayan and Gandhiji. Reforms in administrative grounds proposed at August offer by Linglit Go, very, very important. It is also international support to Indian freedom. For example, Japan also very importantly here. Establishment of Indian intelligentsia, British racial treatment in Assam and also northeastern regions are very important. Next, consequently, the struggle transformed to Quit India movement on 9th August 1942, whenever it was started here. Role of Quit India movement in global arena. Here, second part he has addressed here, coalition of forces against imperialism, especially Germany and Japan and Boers, especially very important. Support of Labour Party in British for India's freedom. Example here, Stafford Cripps, very important here, Cripps mission also. That symbolize sensation with the slogan "Do or Die" by Gandhiji. Impact Quit India movement itself have some limitations here. He has included also here some limitations also included. Disassociation of Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha from Quit India movement also very important here. First important limitation, and also support to British by some communists with material supply. Example in China or Russia. very good limitations. These need to be added because already we have taken the particular considering the discuss keyword, right? Here we need to give some challenges, positives and negatives, as well as need to include some needed measures, but in the context of history questions, we can't tell some measures, right? We need to give some next developments or present considerations or some limitations or challenges, right? Even though Quit India movement not garnered the support of not gained the support of all forces, it instilled the seeds of freedom in youth and women like Annie Besant, etc. Right? Very good. So Arun Asif Ali, sorry. So very good examples here are very good conclusion, simple conclusion here included. So overall here perfect flow is there and structure is there, but we need to add some more important points here. For example, we can tell Atlantic Charter, right? Very important related to this particular topic 1941, and also we have different keywords, right? For example, already included this type of Quit India movement, etc. Also Gandhi's slogan also included, both INA, Indian National Army also included, need to be included here, Cripps mission included, very good, right? So otherwise only one important thing is, that is our Atlantic Charter need to be related to our World War II or international context, we need to add, right? So very good. So important points are in between connectivity statements also included here. Connectivity between first part and second part need to be included. So already we have discussed in the previous questions, right? So very good. Overall, for this answer, we can give 5.5 out of 10 marks. Very good. Keep it up. So next question coming to mains section on day 56, question for 2nd September 2024. What are the key factors leading to glacial melting in the Himalayas? Assess the impact of this phenomenon on the river systems and water security in northern India. Very important related to our subject geography. Write your answers and upload in the AKS app. Thank you very much. All the very best.